and welcome everyone to the Live Limitless Summit, where we are focusing all about having conscious, abundant, and empowered relationships. So, to those of you who do not know me, I am Neepam Jain, and I love facilitating and transforming people's life by removing their pain and trauma, the limiting beliefs, so that they can be the best version of themselves. So many of us are unaware that we, life is all about relationships, but we are unaware that we have relationship with money even. And this could be better understood with our transformational coach who is there with us today. So welcome to the summit, Sharm Shiva.
Hello, Nipam. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, so Sharm Siva is a money mindset transformational coach based in Sydney, Australia. She shows people how to open themselves up to abundance through transformative mindset work. And she has helped many of her clients and students through her coaching programs and online courses to heal their relationship with money. So, Sharm, this is a very different and very, most of us don't even believe that we have a relationship with money. I mean, this is a very deep and intense topic to understand what is it exactly. So, how is this? Do we really have a relationship with money? What is it about? Can you take us deeper into this conversation? Let us explore together. Over to you.
Absolutely, Nipam. Absolutely. So, yeah, you're absolutely right in the sense that many of us are unaware about this relationship with money, right? Because it's something quite intangible. We can see the relationships we have with people, right? So that's obvious because they're visible relationships. Relationship with money, in my opinion, it's very much like your relationship with a higher power or with your inner self. So it's like it's difficult to see that it's there, but it's undeniable. It's definitely there. And with money, when how do you know you have a relationship with money? Just look at the experiences you're having with money in your life right now. So when you're, for example, in a toxic relationship with someone, right? This is something that you can see and feel every day, right? The pain, the hurt, you know it, you notice it. But with money, because you can't see it, because you don't directly see it, when you experience struggles with money, you usually don't connect to the fact that you have a relationship with money, right? And so many of us don't quite know how to fix or transform this. So, but you're right, absolutely, we do have a relationship with money.
Lovely. So, Shram, you feel quite passionate about this topic of money as a relationship. So, what made you explore this? Like, okay, we also have a relationship over here with money. So, can you tell us about your journey, even how you explored this part, this other side of, having money as a relation? Because we all think that it's all inherited. It's all what how it's related to karma and a lot of point of views we have, a lot of judgments we have around money. So what made you explore into this energy of money?
Yeah. So I have been in the professional training industry for about 15 years, and I train corporate executives on neuroscience. So it's the science of the brain. So that has always piqued my interest, neuroscience, psychology, and things like that. And on the other hand, I also coach people on money mindset. I'm a law of attraction certified trainer and coach. So this has been my passion for years, in that what we believe is something that we create in our environment. So I used to have money struggles in the past a lot, right? Debts and money struggles and not being able to pay big amounts of money, or feeling the guilt when when you want to pay for a big course or something like that. Um, and then I just dug deeper into myself, to try to understand what's stopping money from reaching me. And then when I blended the law of attraction and neuroscience and psychological concepts, it helped me in my own journey of reflecting, why am I struggling with money? If I believe that, I can actually manifest anything that I believe in my mind, then why am I not getting money when I believe it so much? And that's when you realize that there's another portion that can be holding us back when it comes to manifesting money, or having a better relationship with money, and that is the brain, right? So a lot of us don't know how the brain functions, but because the brain always tries to keep us safe, it uses our past experiences with money as a foundation to how we experience money in the present and in the future. So if you have had, say, I was robbed once at knife point, and that experience really lived with me for a very long time, and that kind of became a money block for me, right? Fear of having so much money in my wallet, and that becomes an abundance blocker. So how do we train our brain to actually unblock these blocks, have a better relationship with money regardless of the past experience, and how do we live abundantly? So that's basically my journey in a nutshell, Nipa.
Now I get a little bit idea. How is it? Okay, so how important is this relationship with we have with money? Is it what's it?
Yeah. So when we talk about importance, the relationship we have with money is directly related to how we experience money. That's why during the pandemic right now, we know that many of us are struggling with unemployment, two household incomes becoming one, a thriving business now having no clients. These are real issues during the COVID pandemic. But there's a Forbes article that came out in June or July this year that stated that the rich are getting richer. So we have the rest of us who are struggling with money during a bad economy, but some people are still becoming richer, becoming more millionaire than they were before. So it basically, when people ask why is this happening, is it because they're luckier than me, and I would like, because I have clients who come and ask me, am I cursed, that the universe or God doesn't see me or doesn't like me? Is that why I'm destined not to be rich? So that is a mindset thing, if you can see, Nipam, right? So our relationship with money equals how we experience money. And so when we have that empowering relationship, how we experience money becomes a more empowering experience.
That's so true. And what you said that we attach money with that whether being lucky or unlucky. That's whole so much true. And I think most of us, 90% of us, we attach these notions with money, receiving of money and everything. So what would an unsupportive relationship of money would look like?
All right, that's a good question. So, an unsupportive relationship with money translates into a money experience that you live where you find money to be a constant struggle. That could be, no income coming in, no clients, no sales for entrepreneurs, or an income that used to be coming in is not coming in anymore. Difficulty to make ends meet. Paying the bills could be an issue, paying the mortgage, paying the rent, and having continuous back-to-back issues like, or the roof is leaking and the car's not working, so some people have back-to-back issues. That's also, it shows an unsupportive relationship with money. Basically, a life where money brings more pain than joy, or even hope.
Okay. So like somewhere it is just it drains out the money. So it's coming in and it's somewhere it is just going out. So that's what you mean by the unsupportive
Absolutely.
relationship. So you also mentioned that we could accidentally absorb an unsupportive relationship. We can. Do you believe in that? Like we take on the patterns of our parents or we inherit these patterns. Do you believe in that? Can we low?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see, logically, okay, when we talk about our experiences with money, we never say, I want to have a bad relationship with money, or we never say, I hope that money does not support me, right? So consciously, you're saying, I want more money in my life. I want to see more income. I want to be able to, pay my debts off. I want to become a millionaire. So those are the intentions that are conscious, right? But what's happening that's stopping you from getting to where you want to be in terms of your money story is, as I said, the brain. Subconsciously, you have accidentally absorbed um, things or beliefs or limits about money from your environment. So you exactly spot on what you said. We could have experienced a childhood where we witnessed our parents fight about money, And although consciously we're saying, okay, I don't want that life, subconsciously there has been an accidental absorption. So the brain's like a sponge. It uses past experience as the foundation to make future decisions. And so it says, it makes conclusions that are unfair. So the brain could have made a conclusion that, oh, because my parents fought about money, money destroys relationships. So that becomes a money blocker immediately. So that's when I say accidental absorption. It could be from our parents, it could be from our environment, it could be from our past experiences, and that's really powerful. So we have to be kind of aware of that.
So, what can we do to shift these things which has been already framed into our subconscious in the unconscious pattern, which is just unknowingly we have just absorbed it from our parents or the environment while growing up? So, how do we uncover that?
Yeah. So when the brain absorbs accidentally, whether or not it's intentional or accidental, what has happened is the brain has made a conclusion that money is hard to come by, or I can't become a millionaire because millionaire status is for some people and I'm definitely not there. So these are beliefs. So if you think about it, the beliefs are kind of deeply rooted in your brain right now. So what you have to do is first identify, yes, I do have these limiting beliefs, because when I started my journey, I used to spend days of just observing how my mind works, and then realizing limiting thought patterns around money that pop up. So I would spend an entire day just noticing my thoughts, and then suddenly something will pop up. Like I'm watching TV and I see my favorite car in one of the commercials, and immediately my mind goes to, like I'll never be able to afford that. So it's not intentional, it's not conscious, and I immediately catch myself. So that's number one, catch yourself thinking about money, because these are the things that you've been thinking for decades of your life without you realizing. And step two is, when you've noticed that you have an unsupportive belief about money or a limit, you want to immediately change that to something more empowering. And for me, what I teach my clients and what I'd like to recommend to these audience as well is the power of affirmations. Do you know what an affirmation is, Nipa? I'm sure you do.
I know, but I don't know the power of it. Yeah, we see it very often, and on social media, everybody is saying, okay, do affirmation, I'm good. But when I am doing those affirmations, I mean, that's what I have realized. There is no congruency between what I'm saying and what I am. There's always one inner critic will pop up. Oh, okay, fine, you're saying it, but is it really gonna happen? So, how do
Yeah.
you deal at that time?
Yeah. So that's a very real issue when it comes to affirmation. So Rhonda Byrne, she wrote The Secret. She produced the Secret, the movie, and that's where I first learned about law of attraction. Although I've been doing it before, just to put a term to what I've been doing. What I realize is lots of people after that who've been following The Secret, so they say things like, I've tried affirmations and they don't work. So affirmations are basically statements that you make to counter a limit that you have. Okay. Now, one thing people must realize when it comes to beliefs is, you may be holding on to the same limiting belief for decades, right? I'm talking about 20, 30, 40 years of your life. So your brain has perfected, right, this limit as a truth for you. So the brain is so perfect in activating this limit whenever it comes to money. So you are trying to use affirmations, which are words or declarations, to fight these truths, which the brain has solidly created for like many years. So a 1 day or 2 day affirmation reading is not going to solve the problem, right? So I'm just trying to give weightage to what's happening here. So there was a recent study where they looked at how long would it take for someone to change your thought in your brain. So if you've already hooked onto a habit, unconsciously or subconsciously, it takes 66 days, okay, to change that habit. So 66 days is plus minus 2 months, right? So for 2 months, if you can repeat these affirmations, preferably the same affirmation, then your brain will start believing that what you're saying is the new truth, and it will let go of the old limit and start hooking on and anchoring to this new truth. So it takes time.
It is.
And that's why affirmations actually need to be repeated.
And
Yeah.
yeah, normally as a layman terms, if I would say we would do it for a week or maybe 10 days, maybe 15 days, and then say, oh, I'm doing it, but does it really work?
Nothing's
We
happening. Yeah.
we always pop up with our own these things, negativities. Okay, does this really work? So I'm sure, I mean, when you are giving it a scientific proof, I'm sure that, yeah, it takes. And what you said, it's like these affirmations or these thoughts are there in us, in our system, in our brain since 40 years or maybe more. Maybe it's a past life which is we are just carrying those thoughts. So do you even believe we carry those thoughts from our past lives? Is it there? Or
So I would not like to deny it, right? So after learning a lot about, so there's a lot of spirituality in what I learn and teach as well. But so I try not to deny things because a lot of people I teach believe in that. They believe in past life, past pains that you carry forward. And I go along with it because really, as I said before, you are actually manifesting what you believe. Okay.
yeah,
So if you believe that so strongly, I'm not someone who's going to come and say, oh, no, that's not how it is or whatever. So I believe that everyone should have their own beliefs. And I respect all those beliefs. And what I do in my work is I try to integrate those beliefs into my work so that when you practice it or someone else practices it, they can actually integrate it with their belief. So the thing we want to avoid is resistance when it comes to learning new things. So when you say, no, I don't believe in that, you immediately create resistance. And that is not allowing the brain to learn 100%, right? So you're giving yourself a best chance to learn when you don't resist. So when you're asking if I believe, I want to say I believe in everything because who am I to say that it's not true? It may be true for you. Does that make sense?
yes, definitely, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So Shram, can you take us to a journey of any of your client where you shifted this kind of mindset and he could see or he or she could see the transformation which occurred by implementing all these techniques or something you have to share with us?
Yeah. So when we talk about relationship with money, we can't help also looking at relationships that we've had in the past. Okay, I mean, like in during our childhood and how those relationships have impacted us. So one of my clients, she had a very bad experience with someone in the past, and her father witnessed this and her father did not do anything about it. Okay, so someone hurt her and her father did not do anything about it. So when we spoke, she was harboring a lot of anger, not really for that person who has hurt her, but towards her father.
Mm.
Okay, and so we dug deeper and we realized that she was angry with her father because the father did not stand up for her, and that made her feel unseen and disrespected and unappreciated as a daughter. So we did a lot of releasing, all right, through affirmations, because remember, the anger has lasted for many decades.
Yeah.
So we created affirmations. And upon doing these affirmations for about 1 month, so she had a business for about a year plus with no clients, no income, NIPAM. So that's zero, yeah. And then, as soon as we did this, a month later of doing these affirmations, she got her first client. And that was huge because what we're seeing is something being unblocked, all right, within her because she's released that anger through affirmations. And then within the same week, her second client, and then a third client. And so this is exactly what happens when you unblock a money block, when you fix your relationship with money, when you're living with limits and then you change it to something more empowering. What's going to happen is money's going to come in. As soon as money sees a ray of light to come in to reach you, that is going to get bigger and bigger. But you need to start releasing. And it's I'm happy being on this show talking about relationships because it's relationship with money connects with your relationship with everyone else as well. How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and even I believe because when I was looking for speakers for my show, everybody, okay, we are money coach. Will this work for you? I said, of course, definitely, because I truly believe money, there is a relationship that unseen which we most of us are not even aware that we have a relationship, how we have toxic peoples in our life and how they respond to us when we are not being good enough or whatever. The same way the money responses. And thanks for being over here, Sham. So before we wind up, any few tips you have for our viewers which they can carry and they can bring that money transformation, that they can transform their relationship with money? Do you have something in your toolbox? Just few pointers which they can just take away from here.
Absolutely. So, if I could recommend something, I would recommend what I did and what I teach my clients. Spend one day, an entire day, from the time you wake up till the time you go to sleep, just observe the thoughts that are popping up within you when it comes to money. You can write it down or don't, it's okay. Just observe what's coming up, and you will be able to know in one day how many limiting money thoughts you have. And that's empowering. Awareness is number one. And then try, you can reach out to me, or there's so many sources online about affirmations. So go create affirmations to counter these limits. But if I were to suggest one takeaway today, observe your thoughts for one day, especially your money thoughts.
That's where the transformation begins. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for having being here, sharing your golden nuggets of wisdom with our viewers. And she's offering 121 days of affirmation. What is it? Will you like to talk about it?
Yeah, so it's actually 31 days. So I've created affirmations that you can do for 31 days straight, to rewire your money mindset or your relationship with money. So basically, just listen to them for 31 days, and then you can repeat it for 66 days, for that impact. But yeah, I'm offering that for free
How
to
did
all the viewers.
we're lucky to have you over here and have that freebie of yours. So the link will be below under the description. And viewers, please do let me know your takeaways from this conversation with Sharm Shiva by joining my Facebook group Body Mind Rewind, where we can stay in touch virtually. Thank you so much, Sharm, for being over here, sharing your time. I'm so
Thank
grateful.
you so much, Nipam, for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, viewers, for watching us, hearing us, and I'm sure this will definitely transform your relationship with money. So, till then, stay safe, stay healthy, love yourself a little more. Bye. See you all on the other side.